Hi, my name is Candy Williamson. I'm a massage therapist for over 12 years now. I do a lot of therapeutic work. I work with a lot of athletes, a lot of chronic pain, old injury, new injury, and there's a lot of tools out there that can really help you take care of yourself and not need to see me as much. This is the Mah Roller and the Mini Mah. So you can see that this is very similar, and I want to show you how to use this one, which you'll kind of get the idea that this is very similar in use, but it's a little more convenient for something like travel, as it goes rolling away. So if you look at this, there's kind of an obvious first plan of where this is going. It looks like it's going to go perfectly along your spine, keeping your spine in the middle, working the erectors, which are the muscles that stick out on either side of your spine. This is a very intense tool. It's not something that I typically recommend that you roll on, but you lay on. So, simple enough. You put it on the ground. You're gonna ease back into this. Don't just fall back on it. Make sure that it's lined up so that your spine is in a good position. Starting with the low back if you prefer. I keep my feet up so that my hips are rotated so that my low back is pressing into it. Just relax. It feels really good to just open this up. And you just lift gently, move it to the next place, and you can do this all the way up your spine. Feels really good. Gets a nice motion in the vertebrae, just lifting, helping to decompress a bit. Just breathe in and enjoy. So I'm not going to go through the process of all the way up, but you get the idea. Getting into the upper back. You can even put a pillow. Use your hands to rest and relax. It's also nice to have your arms down. It moves the muscles in a different position. You don't have to move here, but you're welcome to make it more intense. Do a little bit of snow angel action. Open those muscles up just a little bit. Breathe into it. Rest there. Bring them down, lift, reposition, relax back down onto it. So the higher you get up here, the more you'd want a pillow or even a yoga block to rest your head on so that you can fully relax and allow the muscles to fully relax while you're working with the Mah Roller. I do roll on it, but I use it a lot. So you can get up into your neck, be able to get a nice traction on the occipital ridge, working both spines of the neck. Once you're here, you can even do small rotations back and forth. Start working right along the base of the skull, getting the muscles of the neck to relax and let go. Scoot it down a little farther. Works a little better if you don't have a bun in your hair. And just ease into these muscles. This is more intense. It does the same thing. The difference is this helps to support the rest of your back so that you're not just splayed open, but it's a really great tool. So personal preference, you can use it just the same for that. Also, if you have hip pain, immobility, range of motion restrictions, these are both really great to work into that. So you can start on one side. Whatever side you're working on, it's best to have it relaxed, again, so that it can sink in. This is another slow moving. You can feel it along the tailbone, along your sacrum. Whew, it's nice and intense. If you have sciatic nerve pain, if you would like to deepen your squat, this is really, really, really powerful. Nice slow motion. You can rest into it or you can move really slowly. Be nice to your body. Don't aggressively attack it with this. You can rotate. Really open up these hips. One of my favorite things to do with this. And similarly, you can use the Mini Mah to do the same thing. Same concept, same rolling, getting into that hip. Whew, getting into the TFL feels really good. So just opening up the muscles that tighten and restrict the hip, that can inhibit your ability to get deep into a squat, that can cause pain when you're sitting. And I'm going to switch back to the Mah, because if you've ever used a foam roller for your IT band, this is another great way to use it for your IT band. This is another great way to get in there. It has this great little edge that you can turn and slide your hip on, help open your hip up. And nice, once you get past the bone, opening up that IT band very slowly, or finding a place that's really intense and just relaxing into it. Rolling forward, I think a lot of people skip this in life, where the IT band might be pretty intense. It's a huge tendon. But if you roll slightly forward and you get more into the quads, this can do a lot for your hip pain, for your knee pain, pretty much anywhere that you find that's intense and uncomfortable is something that needs to be worked out of your body. It shouldn't be in there. But again, have an awareness of when your body is not happy with what you're doing. Your body will give you warning signs of, ooh, that's too painful. No, I don't want to do that. Honor that. Stop, don't do it. But you can roll all the way over and really get into the quad. This nice flat surface is great for this. And this is actually what I consider travel size, the Mah Roller. This one's a little smaller. You're not really gonna wanna roll on your quad with this one, or with the center part of it. You might. It's probably more intense than most people wanna do. But coming all the way down, this is another great way to take some pressure off, is use this leg to stabilize so you can lift up so that your whole body weight isn't pressed down on the Mah Roller while you're using it. I could just spend forever doing this. You can also get into your hamstring. Make sure you get the whole leg while you're here. And getting into those adductors. So a lot of times you think you're gonna work the IT band. That's what really needs to happen. But you need to work both sides. So this kind of depends on your flexibility, but leaning forward, rolling over, and trying to open up the hip while you do this. Another way, if it's more comfortable for you, coming onto the ground, having your leg at more of a right angle, and relaxing into opening up the inner thigh. This can be a very forgotten about area, but sometimes when you have knee pain, if it's on the outside and you keep rolling the outside, there can be a bowing of the legs that's caused by a line of tension on the inside of the leg. So if you keep doing everything and you keep having pain out here, try going to the opposite side and seeing if that's where it's coming from. And if you get in here and you're like, holy cow, that's terrible, it's probably part of the problem. It's a good place to explore. Now, if you have issues with your calves, this thing, well, we'll start here. This is the easy version. Just resting down into it. If this is uncomfortable on your ankles, if you don't have this flexibility, you can always put a pillow underneath the ankles to put that angle back in. But just sitting down and having that static pressure on your Achilles tendons, getting it to release slowly, melting into it. And you will move this up your legs and be able to just rest into it as much as possible. It is not always so easy to do when your calves are in dire need of this. So take time. This is a slow process. If your calves are in really bad shape from running, working out, or actually not moving at all, this is really intense. Just breathe into it. You can also come forward. This takes some pressure off because then you don't have all of your body weight on it. And getting all the way up into here. Once you get far enough up, you're probably not going to be able to sit all the way down because this is physically going to block you too, but it's going to get some really deep work into these calves that hopefully you'll be able to relax into and receive. So another way that you can use this tool, and the mini Mah in the same right, is into the side body, working the shoulder girdle. I like the crevice in between. You're gonna place that on the side body. It's a great way to get nice and deep into that shoulder girdle. Open all of this up. Again, really slow movements. This can be very intense. So I'm not rolling it all over the place, just moving it, doing small motions, coming all the way up. It's so good. And the same thing with the mini Mah. So, same idea, cradling the shoulder, rolling out the deltoids. You can roll onto the backside and isolate, get into the Infraspinatus, which is a super intense muscle. It's the one that's on top of your shoulder blade. So this is also great for rocking on the shoulders slowly, getting into those deltoids. Coming over into the front so that you can get into the pec. Generally just getting the whole shoulder area. So I'll move my hand so you can kind of see what I'm doing. It's a slow process, but really you want to be able to rest into it as much as possible. I like them both, but they both have different uses. So this has the rolls in the middle and the long flat edge. So just different ways. Really enjoyable. Get those shoulders to move back onto the back. And while there's lots and lots of ways to use these tools, I just wanted to give you a couple ideas of what you can do. If you're interested and you're in the local Chico area, massagebycandychico.com, or you can swing by my local office and pick them up right here in town.